Hello everybody, this is Di, Antinatalist, and I am in a grocery store, and I just had an idea for a video. Some people have the misperception that everybody else who's up and walking is feeling good or has a great family just because they see them in public. And I can guarantee you that every single person in this store and every single child and every single mom and dad has an immense amount of pain and horror. And just because you see a child laughing with his dad, holding his dad's hands, that does not mean that when they go home, that kid is going to be abused or assaulted, or that, he witnesses his mom's domestic violence. If you can recall in your own childhood, you had some good days. There was, good days when your family would go out in the station wagon or the van or the camper, and maybe you would go to the beach, or maybe you would go to a campground, and you had some good times, okay? And those are probably few and far between. But the everyday living and the consequences of being in a family with all the stresses and the financial upsets and the sicknesses and illnesses and struggles with work and bosses and school, they get to everybody. Everybody's family network is made up of so many ups and downs, and from one moment to the next, things can change greatly in a family. And so I came out today and just I have some plans, taking my dog with me, and I just thought to myself, just because everybody is up and walking and shopping or with their family or pretending to enjoy this moment in the grocery store is very, very temporary. And this is a distraction. Shopping, eating, cooking, going to watch a movie, traveling, it's all a distraction, folks. And everybody likes to be around food pretty much. It's kind of a focus of everybody's existence, I think. But so this video is just to bring awareness to the fact that just because you see somebody with a smile, or maybe they're up and walking, or maybe they put their makeup on and their hair is done and they've got their best Sunday clothes on, that doesn't mean that they are feeling well inside. And that does not mean that they just didn't find out they had a cancer diagnosis, or that doesn't mean they just had a mastectomy, or that doesn't mean that their child is in children's hospital. So everybody in this store, every foot, every mind, every body, everybody is blessed with a huge amount of struggles in life. And some of these people could have woken up with a huge biting hangover, but they still made it to the grocery store. Some people have lupus or Crohn's disease and terrible afflictions that they deal with day in and day out. So what you see on the surface is, does not indicate the way that they feel inside. And that split second that you see somebody in a grocery store, or in a public place, or even at work, even the few hours at work that you spend with somebody, it does not dictate the rest of their life, and it doesn't indicate the struggles that they face, or the worries that they have in life. So anytime that you're in public, just don't feel alone. Don't feel like you're the only one that has a hangover, or you're the only one that has horrible intestinal pain from Crohn's or lupus, or you're not the only one with psoriasis and eczema. You're not the only one with migraine headaches or bunions. So each and every one of these souls has an array of physical, mental, emotional discomforts. Every single one of them. And just like you and I, when we go out in public, we have our shoes on, we have our clothes on, probably washed our hair, put our makeup on, maybe even. And that does not mean that we are, functioning. It doesn't mean that we feel good. It doesn't mean that we're elated to be living or alive. And, same with little children. They face a lot of obstacles at home. There's a lot of abuse in so many families. I would say the majority of families. So when you see a little child smiling and giggling, that is very, very temporary for that child. So I'm going to tape off here and show you, since I'm at the mushroom department, I'm going to show you one of the most amazing mushrooms I have ever had in my life. And it is these, wait a minute, fancy mushroom. They were called trumpet mushrooms. And this big white one there is called a trumpet mushroom. And it actually can be sliced up and stir-fried. And it tastes, or it mocks a scallop, a seafood scallop. So there's an array of mushrooms in here. There's trumpet, maitake, and other mushrooms, but that large one is trumpet. And I had one, and I was just really, really amazed. So it's well worth the experience of buying one. Now, the one mushroom that I could not tolerate was this one, and it was called a lion's mane mushroom. Now, I took a bite of it before I cooked it, and it was extremely bitter. And I thought, well, you just have to cook it in order to bring the flavor out, because everything raw doesn't exactly, taste well. And but anyway, I cooked that mushroom, and it was awful. It was so bitter. These also were a really, really nice mushroom stir fry with garlic and oil, and they were blue oyster mushrooms. These were very, very delicious, but my favorite was the trumpet. If you can find them, I'm sure they're very temporary for this time of year. So that's the trumpet, and that's the trumpet. So that's just about it for my video. And some people like to, they like to compare themselves to other people in the world. And they like to say, well, this, like, this person is smarter, or this person's prettier, or this person's more gifted, or, this person's doing better at their job than I am. You know what, folks? That's just not true. Each and every person has struggles, even though they may be opposite from yours. But life is just a horrible situation and tragedy for all of us. Now, this is the first snow of the year, interestingly. Well, we had a few flakes yesterday, but this is the first true snow, I guess. I don't think it'll stick because... Oh, this is a cool car, huh? I love that green. I love Jeeps. They're so cool. Anyway, there's no need to compare ourselves to others, even though I think as humans, that's just what we do in life. We do a lot of comparing to other people, And the first people in our lives that we compare ourselves to is family. And you may have a sibling or a cousin or even a parent who's, seems more adjusted than you are, or, who can tackle projects better than you can, or who has less physical, illnesses or less allergies to suffer with. But I guarantee that each and every one of those people has a magnitude of worries, concerns, and dilemmas. So, just, I don't know how to end this video, because I don't want to sound optimistic at all. But I don't want people comparing themselves to others and making themselves feel worse, because you don't know that person's situation. I mean, you could see the most tall, handsome newscaster of a man, and, physically fit with all his hair and teeth sparkling white. And he may have the worst home situation, and he might be even struggling with a cancer you don't know, or a physical illness that you don't know. So we're kind of like all in the same boat here in life, and we're all going to struggle. We're all going to get sick, age, and die. And that's why I promote non-procreation and eventual human extinction, voluntary human extinction. So if you're in agreement, or if you're not in agreement, you can post your comments below. Stay civil, folks, or YouTube will remove your content before I even see it. Thanks for watching, and the only thing you can do in your life is, be your very best, and focus on yourself. And try not to compare your life situation with others. And it's kind of simplistic. It's not very helpful, really. But I mean, maybe you can, see some insight in that, and just realize that non-procreation is the only way for salvation for humanity. And thank you for watching.